And we are live. Okay, okay. All right. On time. 9 o'clock on the dot. See if I can put this camera somewhere else. See, that's better. All right. Um, let's see. I guess we can wait. Wait a minute. Um, give it a share this out real quick. Hey, there's no like share button. Hmm. Let's see. All right. Let's see. I can, oh, yeah. All right. Wait a little bit before I start. Well, I will begin. Get it going. Waited. All right, so let me change the keyboard again. I want it there. So. Let's do some ingenuity. Boom. And we are good. Okay. That's a good one. All right. Good morning. It is 9:10 a.m. here in South Korea, and I am Jason, your boy. I had a fun night last night, so if I look like I'm a little bit hungover, because I am, apologies. Anyways, so today, the reason I was doing this stream for today is to talk about the book that I'm working on. Can you do screen share on this? Let's see. Hmm. Oh no, you can't. That is unfortunate. I guess I gotta use that streaming software instead. Anyways, so work on the book. All right, and the original. First of all, I want to talk about this rhetoric that's going around about guys who are passport bros. They're called lazy. Lazy. Yeah, they're being called lazy and lame. And I find that to be interesting when, first of all, to get your passport, to go through the steps to get a passport, plan your destination, get your plane tickets, travel is nothing. It says nothing about laziness for me. Like that is quite a bit amount of work to do to just leave the country. That is not lazy. So guys who say that are, I want to say, hey, I hate that I don't hate it. They are idiots. All right. That is buffoonery. That is stupid to the highest degree to call any man who takes upon themselves to get a passport um, and leave the country. It has nothing to do with being lazy at all. The next thing, the statement that I said that those men are lame is also stupid. And the fact that I can see why women will say some stuff like that, cool. Let the women say what they want to say. But when you see men speaking like this, it is a shame because no man, imagine this. Imagine, this is black men. Imagine black men. No, imagine it's fucking real. The fact that black men in America who don't agree with the passport bro community, the fact that these men are sitting on their podcast, sitting online, calling men who want to go to another country for better options, the fact that they call these men lame is a clear sign of why the black community is trash in certain aspects. Let me explain. The men who they should be focusing on and calling lame are the men who are having children out of wedlock with especially black women, right? The men who they should be calling lame are the men who not in the household with their child because they think, well, as long as I see my kid, I'm doing good. That is the men you should be calling lame. The men you should be calling lame are the ones who has not one but two, three, four different baby mamas, not married to not neither one of their baby mamas, but they out here looking shitty shy, looking cool, going to the club, this and that, but they're not invested in in that, at least one child mother's household. They got just four, but they're not married. The men who should be considered lame, especially the who they want to talk about black men, the men who they should be calling lame are the men who are getting who is shooting up the block, robbing and stealing. That is the lame ones. Men who decide to who has their shit together, who can get a passport, who can buy a plane ticket to go somewhere better for them. They're not lame. They're my friend. They are smart. And men like you calling other men lame is the problem with the black community because you don't have the fucking balls to go walk your ass down the street and call the Pookie and Ray Rays lame because you know why? They're shooting your fucking face. That what makes you lame. You don't have the audacity to tell these women stop getting pregnant by men who has no intention to marry your stupid ass. You're not gonna call them lame. But it's easy to call men who decides to take their resources and go somewhere else for better opportunities, not only better opportunities where they will be respected. And the fact to call men lame because they want to be respected is stupid. It's why the people don't take a lot of the black community serious. Because to call men who want to go somewhere else and get respect lame is crazy to me. And for other men, especially black men, to have a problem with black men who's not causing no harm, by the way. The passport bros, right? They are causing zero harm to anybody. They're not robbing nobody, they're not killing nobody, they're not stealing none of that. Right? So to call that group of males lame is crazy to me. Makes no fucking sense at all. So, anyways, so I've been living overseas since 2008. All right, joined the Air Force. Air Force sent me overseas to my first base in Yokota, Japan. Then after Yokota, Japan, I went to Azores, Portugal. Then after Azores, Portugal, I came to South Korea in 2013, and I was stationed from 2013 to 2023. Then I separated from the Air Force, and I'm now here in South Korea. And I just recently got my visa. So I'm not on a tourist visa here. I'm on an F6 visa, so I could be here longer than 3 months at a time. I gotta, because there's some people who come here in other countries too. They come here to get a 3-month visa and they do the tourist runs, right? So I decided, so I started seeing the whole passport bro community, right? And I thought it was pretty cool. I think it's a necessary thing actually that we have, and I'm happy that COVID really exposed a lot more brothers to the fact that hey, you can leave the country if you have a good paying job that you can work remote. You can leave, go somewhere else. There's no reason to stay in a country where you don't feel respected. There's no reason to stay in a country where you feel that you can't find the opportunities in work, business, and even relationships. Why you shouldn't stay. All right, we don't live in the 60s and 70s anymore. Where we don't live in the 1950s, We want to live in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, right? Where you didn't have as many opportunities to leave and whatnot, right? The main people who was able to leave the country for the black community was the military people, pretty much, and those who got into contract in the CIA. But for the most part, your main avenue to leave America back then was the military, right? So fast forward to today, you can be into the cybersecurity fields, you can be in the computers, you can be in the IT tech fields, and the military and the government contracting and government employee job, and you can leave the country, right? And I get it. There's people especially in the black community, who are angry that you choose to not stay and put up with the bullshit, but instead you decide to go somewhere else to greener pastures. My hats off to you, and I respect those who are doing it, who have done it, because you should not have to put up with disrespect. You should not have to put up with the potential of being killed just pumping your gas. Why? Especially in America, right? The country that likes to say they're the best in the world. Which I will say this: there are opportunities in America that you cannot get nowhere else. There are freedoms that you get in America that you can't get nowhere else. But at the same time, there are other countries that do offer a different option that is that you can deal with. That's not totalitarian countries. They're not communist countries. They're not socialist countries. But like me, I'm in South Korea. South Korea is an awesome country. Is it expensive compared to other Asian countries? Yeah, it's not cheap. It's not like Thailand, the Philippines, Vietnam, and Cambodia, and Indonesia, and all that. You need a little bit of bread to be here. I'm not gonna lie to you. So but I say all that to say this: the fact that other people are talking negative about the Passport Bros, right? The fact that they are trying to even talk negative about the women Passport Bros date, saying things like those women don't speak English, they're undereducated. Let me explain something to America. A lot of countries have college educated people, because a lot of times their college education is way cheaper than America. A lot of countries, people speak 2, 3, 4 different languages to include English. And when y'all go on these YouTubes and TV and talk about these women in these other countries, y'all just look like the bigots. Y'all look like the bigots and the quote unquote oppressors, the quote unquote white supremacists that y'all scream about in America. Y'all look and sound like them. And if you look in the mirror, you'll realize you are the oppressor. And it's not even white supremacy anymore. And I'm tired of us blaming white supremacy. A lot of times it's just black supremacy that you see going on. Black women supremacy, or just or women supremacy, or LGBTQ supremacy. So, and all the Passport Bros doing, they're leaving. They're not even putting up with y'all. They're not even trying to be bothered with y'all. But yet y'all are bothered that they're not bothered with y'all. Let that sink in. You are bothered that they're not bothered with y'all. You are bothered that they are not bothered with y'all, and that they are leaving y'all to go somewhere else. And all you can do is talk trash about the people and the countries they're going to. You stupid. So I decided to write this book. And the first book, the book was going to be called Passport Bros Korea 5-Story Building. And the concept of that version of the book was going to be where I will put together pretty much based off of Dr. Paul Anderson's theory of the 5-story building, which means first floor is economics, second floor is politics, third floor is justice, fourth floor is media, fifth floor is education. And with those 5 floors, you can use that to build a community wherever you're at, because with those 5, you can build and establish a self-sufficient community. So my plan was to write a book based off of those five floors, to be focusing on South Korea first, and then moved to Japan, then Philippines, then Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, South America, Africa, right? So I was gonna go about making a 5-story building book for each country, and with this, or each region, and with this book, Passport Bros could not only go overseas, get married or whatever, get a girlfriend, work a job, but then they can also now take this and say, now we're going to build a community. We're going to have our own little enclave where we at, where we control, we have businesses, schools, whatnot. So that was the plan, but that is a very big undertaking to do. So instead, I decided to pivot the book on something much easier to accomplish in a short amount of time. And I'm focusing on the book. So the book is going to become kind of like a travel guide. So Passport Bros Korea, or I might just call it Passport Bros um, Travel Guide, Volume 1. And in the book, and so I hired this young lady to help research. I made an outline, the things I need to talk about, the people I want to mention. I made this like 2 or 3 page document with everything I want to be in the book. Then I hired me a researcher, and I say, hey, look, I need you to go find me all this information. All right, I need all this information so I can use the information to then write my book. So I gave her this. So like we talk about passports, the visas, and like 20 plus countries. We talk about finances. We talk about budgetings, travel insurance. We talk about accommodations, like all that stuff, and different people who you could talk, you can follow, to get information about traveling. And yes, I do have some women in there because even though I know the Passport Bros is for the bros, for the men, women who travel can also provide us some useful information that we can use for our community. So I include some women in there in the chapter that will highlight a bunch of especially like Black people, majority of Black people who are traveling overseas, living and traveling. So, and this doc is like 96 pages. Like she came back with 98 pages of information that I can use. And she created for me 3 documents that has a list of like the different costs in 21 different countries, the various costs for like accommodations, food, and whatnot. And then also we have like information on like different travel insurance agencies, so you can figure out if you want to get travel insurance, you can like kind of like get an idea and shop around. It is a lot, and so now that I have this information, I plan on using it to write the book, also to use it to update my Substack, which is pretty much like my newsletter. And yeah, it's gonna be a good thing. And I'm doing this because we need to, right? I think in order to help propel us to become more of a serious, to be taken serious, is we need to start having people in the space creating stuff like what I'm doing, like writing books, and then so you can buy the book early on Gumroad for, I think I put like $4.99, but I'm also publish it on after I release the book. It will no longer be available to buy on Gumroad. Maybe I'll see, but I'm gonna also publish it on Amazon because I wanted to be in the Amazon bookstore, because I wanted to be seen that the Passport Bro community is producing things that like books, and whatnot. Because we need to show that, hey, look, we're not going overseas to go clap some cheeks. We're going overseas to build. We're going overseas to build, establish communities, and provide information and guidance for other people who wants to come over here, because that's what I think when they start seeing that, they'll start being like, oh, these guys not playing. These guys are being serious about this Passport Bro community stuff, right? So that is one of my drives with this book, Substack, and then eventually, I, I want to set up like a center here called like the Passport Bros Korea Center, where it's a physical place where you could come here, get help, get information. And the Passport Bros Korea that I'm building, main focus will be on the Indo-Pacific Asia area, because this region is like 60% of the world's population. America has a strong interest in this region right now. And this is where a lot of the future economic drivers in the world is going to be at, in Asia and in secondly Africa, right? And I feel like because we have passport bros in the Asia countries, then we have passport bros in Africa. Since those two regions um, are going to be highly important for economic growth and development and consumption in the future, I think it will be beneficial that right now we start building communities in the Asia region and in the Africa region, and then we can start figuring out how to do business amongst the passport bros communities in those regions with each other. You know, establishing like an international commerce trade between the communities. So my overall vision is to help with establishing infrastructure in communities of passport bros who are married or who are single, but they have skill sets and finances that can help with the future of this international community. So, yeah, that is pretty much what I have for today. Um, I know it's just me on here talking, but that's fine. You know, you got to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You got to start somewhere, baby. But follow me on my X, used to be called Twitter account. Sign up for my newsletter. So let me talk about the newsletter real quick. So I'm using Substack, and Substack essentially allows you to create a list of people who follow you, and you can send a newsletter out to them. And right, it is free to sign up. You don't have to pay. There will be certain things on my Substack you will have to pay for to gain access to, like these Excel sheets that my researcher had helped that put together for me. Like those things will be you will have to be a paid member to access those sheets on that for that part of Substack. But joining the Substack, it's free to sign up. You don't have to pay anything. And I wrote this. I put the link of for the Substack in the description of this live stream. But so yeah, so Substack, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on X, used to be called Twitter, and I'm me working to produce more content, produce more material and resources for the Passport Bros community, and for all you who do follow and share, I greatly appreciate it. So that is all I have for today, and I will see you guys next week.